How long have we got, mate?
They are horrible.
As I said, I appreciate it's 4-6 anyway. The camera time.
Hello and welcome to the Menderhose Jungle Women's Super League action here between the Castleford Tigers and Wigan Warriors, with a place in the grand final up for grabs this afternoon. The Tigers almost went the season undefeated, lost last week, but will be keen to avenge that defeat today against a Wigan side that they beat heavily here earlier on in the season. As for the Warriors, a strong performance from themselves last week, and they'll be hoping to build on that this time around, but face a formidable task against the Tigers. Castleford, of course, Challenge Cup finalists early in the year. They want to be grand finalists here this afternoon, and certainly there is a big crowd here at the Menderhose Jungle ready to see if the Tigers can do just that. Alongside me today, Matt Shaw, Scott Sternick. Scott, massive game for both clubs today.
Oh, it's a huge task. I mean, for Wigan Warriors, they haven't scored a point in 2 of their previous games. They lost 16-0 to Leeds Rhinos last week, 28-0 to St Helens a couple of weeks ago. So for them to come here and play against Castleford Tigers, League Leaders Shield winners, it's a tough task. But for Castleford, I mean, they lost last weekend to St Helens. It's a big game for them too. Can they bounce back in style? Oh, it's going to be an absolute cracker here at the Menderhose Jungle.
There's absolutely no doubting about that. Kick-off not too far away, but it's time to hear from our coaches for today's game. We'll hear right now from Lindsay Arfield and Chris Rackley.
The biggest 80 minutes of your season so far, and a very, very stern challenge as well. How much are you looking forward to the challenge that Castleford present today?
Well, everybody wants to be playing in semi-finals and finals, don't they? So, I think the girls are really happy that they're here again, and that they've got that opportunity to try and defend what they won last year. I know it's as tough of a challenge as it can be. Cass nearly went the full season undefeated, and then coming here, and I've seen all the build-up. It's looking for a record crowd. It's obviously going to be a tough ask, but I feel we're probably seeing a little bit as underdogs, and a lot of that pressure is going to be applied to Castleford through that occasion, and we just need to come here and use the occasion as a motivation, really, and rather than seeing hostile fans getting on your back, use it as a motivation. There's fans coming to watch the women play in droves, and that's a great thing for the game.
You've gone under the radar this year, there's no doubt about that. Castleford have certainly been spoke about all season. Given the expectation, given the crowd, do you think that can work to your advantage today?
It remains to be seen, but I definitely don't see it as being an advantage to them in that sense. So it is nice when you're at home and you're playing in front of your own fans, but at the same time, like I said, there is that expectation. So I think that probably just balances any advantage of that out.
And for people who haven't seen your side so far this season, what can we expect from the Warriors here?
I'm just looking for us to play very similar. Finishing touch to what we did. It's the first time that we've played with the sort of control and the sort of commitment that I've been looking to instill in them, and that's what I'm looking for again today. It's just to keep turning up for each other and defend really strong. We know that we're got to defend strong against Castleford because they throw more attacking shapes towards you than perhaps any of the other sides. But I'm just looking for the girls to keep turning up and make it a contest all the way through, and when we get our chances to take them.
Chris, best of luck.
Cheers.
Lindsay, you're 80 minutes away from a grand final, another final this year. How big a moment is this for this team?
Yeah, this is massive. We got to this point last year and crashed out against Leeds away. So this year, having the home fixture and hopefully the crowd behind us, I'm expecting a bit more from the girls.
There's been a lot of talk about the crowd and everything and the whole event, really. How hard has it been to keep the players focused on that and not let the occasion get to them too much?
Yeah, I think it is something that we've really tried to work with the players on. The grand final really just overtook their emotions, and I'm hoping that the fact that they've played here quite a few times now with a good crowd, that they might be kind of used to it, so hopefully that won't be a big factor.
You're coming into the game off the back of a rare defeat. Does that work in your favour? Do you expect a response from the girls today?
Yeah, massively. I think if we don't get a response today, I don't know when we will get a response. They were all very disappointed, as were the coaching staff last week. We've had words this week, they've trained well, so if they don't play today, then it's our own fault, I guess.
Well, best of luck.
Thank you very much. Cheers.
Thoughts of the two coaches there, and they've named their teams too. Let's take you through first and foremost the Castleford Tigers side today. At fullback, Tara Jane Stanley, Maisie Lum and Lucy Eastwood on one edge, and Kelsey Gentles, Woman of Steel contender, of course, she's at centre. Shona Hoyle in there too. Georgia Roach, the last year's Women of Steel, she's at halfback along with Jasmine Cudjoe, Emma Lumley, Sinead Peach, Grace Field the front row, Holly Dodd, Lacey Owens and Rhiannon Marshall make up the starting 13 for the Tigers today. As for Wigan, they've got Rebecca Greenfield at fullback, Megan Grace Holding and Vanessa Temple on one side, Hayley Martinez and Georgie Wilson on the other. It's Rachel Thompson and Charlotte Foley, then Jade Gregory Hazelden, Carice Marsh, Holly Speakman, Amanda Sibbald, Emily Bagley and Victoria Molyneux. here are the reserves this afternoon. Sammy Watts, Frankie Townend, Tamsin Renouf and Emma Slow for Castleford. As for Wigan, Sarah Harrison, Lucy Bagley, Megan Bragg and Eleanor Dainty, I should say, sorry. Well, we aren't too far away. Let's have a look at the recent results of these two teams, starting with Castleford. They've been on a fantastic run of form, but did slip up last week against St Helens, who of course are in the other semi-final against Leeds Rhinos, but they've been winning convincingly before that, beating Bradford and Wigan, of course, 56 points to 8. So certainly they can be confident going into this one as the Tigers and the Warriors come out onto the field. Wigan in their alternative kit today of blue, light blue and navy blue, I suppose it is. And then as for Castleford, they're in their traditional amber and black. And most certainly we are in for a humdinger today.
Oh, it's going to be an excellent game of rugby league today at the Menderhose Jungle. I mean, Castleford, they're in form, but as you say, that defeat to St Helens, has that thrown them off? And what about Wigan Warriors? Haven't scored a point in 160 minutes of rugby league. Can they get one today? We'll see.
Now, the team's out on the field right now, and we have a very, very important game for both teams coming up, you'd have to say, right now.
A huge one, yeah. Place in the grand final. It doesn't get bigger than that, with the exception of the grand final. So it's certainly a big game. Wigan Warriors, I mean, after having enjoyed a pretty poor season, they'll be happy to have made the top four, and they'll be hoping to make full advantage when they can take on Castleford today.
And we are about to get underway now, and it has to be said, what a fantastic crowd we have in once again for this playoff game. Let's have a look at the Wigan recent results. Well, they've been a bit hit and miss of the Warriors, but they did put in a good performance in recent time. They just need to be stronger, more consistent and play for longer periods, as we heard from Chris Ratcliffe earlier on. A loss to Featherstone, and there is that loss to Castleford a couple of months ago that, well, will it play on their minds? That's the question.
That is a good question. I mean, I guess Wigan will come into this game knowing they've got nothing to lose. Last time they came here, lost 56-8, so they've got absolutely nothing to lose. They're going to come out here and throw everything they have at Castleford. The question is, can Castleford handle it, and can they bounce back from that defeat to Saints?
Absolutely. Well, time will tell, and we will find out right now. We're about to get underway. It's Castleford Tigers against Wigan Warriors, semi-finals of the playoffs, and we are underway right now. Castleford get us started, and it's not a bad kick into the in-goal in the end. Wigan bring the ball forward, and there is that amber and black defence. Georgia Roach leads in the charge, and now the Warriors tasked with coming out of their own end of the field. Missing a key forward today, of course. There was a suspension for Rhiannon Marshall, wasn't there? Not Rhiannon Marshall, I apologise. They've had a very key suspension for Gemma Walsh, who will be a big miss.
A huge miss for Wigan Warriors. Such an experienced player, Gemma Walsh. You could say she led them to that first Women's Super League title last season, and she's going to be a big miss for Wigan.
Of course, Rhiannon Marshall, equally influential for the Tigers. She really is a leader of this team, and she'll no doubt lead the line today.
She was in great form against York when Castleford won the League Leaders Shield here a couple of weeks ago. Scored a hat-trick in the second half, a 20-minute hat-trick. But then in St Helens, she had a very...
early mistake there. There's a strong kick into that corner, and maybe the best decision or the best course of action there would have been just to try and put the foot on the ball, but in the end the mistake was made. I think it was Macy Loam, wasn't it?
Macy Loam, yeah, the youngster.
Maybe just showing an ever so slight amount of inexperience there, rather than just trapping the ball, trying to go for it. Shows confidence, of course.
But what an opportunity this is for Wigan Warriors.
Of course, Castleford haven't touched the ball yet, and that's a decent carry there from Victoria Molyneux, with the Warriors approaching the line now. Here's Greenfield taking it to the line. That's a strong hit in the tackle there. The ball's come loose, and there's a knock on, and that is a big play from a Castleford Tigers perspective. And take a bow, Gracefield, big hit, dislodge the ball, and that relieves the pressure.
Certainly does. I mean, Wigan, there was a good opportunity for them to work that ball out wide and cause some problems, but an early mistake, and the ball's with Castleford for the first time in this game.
And they will start just short of their own 20, bring the ball out of back play now with keen Wigan defence. First defending for them to do in this game. The game we the pitch, we walked across it, didn't we? And it is ever so slightly slippy. You can see why the ball will be coming loose with a bit of dew on the ball. There could be a game where we see plenty of handling errors, as you see at any level of the game, as Kelsey Gentles takes the ball. It looked like she may have taken a whack there, Kelsey Gentles, in the face.
Yeah, she's holding her face at the moment as she runs back out to the wing.
Hopefully she isn't seriously hurt. Here is Tara Jane Stanley. Great player. I'm also a fan of this woman, Sinead Peach. She's so good at hooker, isn't she? Lightning out of the ruck.
Sinead Peach she's been absolutely sensational all season. The thing with Sinead is that she's been consistent all season long, but let's see what happens here.
Well, the kick well taken there on this right hand side. It was Georgia Roach with that crossfield kick, but Georgia Wilson up to the task and plays the ball now, and forward come the Warriors once again. That is Hayley Martinez. I apologise, Martinez. Don't know what made me say that. Martinez. Won't get that one wrong again. Here come the Warriors once more down the right hand side of this pitch. I've got to say, the Castleford line speed impressive so far, with Peach in there along with Roach. Here comes the next carry forward. Roach in there again. It's a strong hit, dominant collision so far from the Tigers in this defensive set. To play the ball, Wigan will go again, move it into a central position, and now out to that left hand side, reverse pass that causes the Castleford defenders to test their lateral movements, but up to the task there, and the Warriors haven't managed to get out of their own 40 here. This is the last tackle, another kick down low, and another one for Maisie Lum to deal with. Bounced up nicely for her this time, and it's not a bad return either. Castleford start on halfway.
She does quite well, does Maisie Lum, brings Castleford over the halfway line, and well, let's see what they can make from this position.
Indeed, Peach waits at dummy half here, just surveys what's either side of her, decides to go straight down the middle. What a collision that was!
Shauna Hoyle not messing around, taking no prisoners.
Asserting her dominance in this game early on. Here comes the ball again. That looked like a loose carry though, and indeed it was. So that's a shame for the Tigers. Yeah. It was Emma Lumley, wasn't it, who just spilt the ball there. As we said, it is wet on that pitch, and it does make ball handling that little bit harder for players.
And Emma Lumley, of course, she didn't play in that game against St Helens, and first game since playing York over two weeks ago. So she hasn't been on the pitch for a while.
5 minutes into this game then, and nothing separating the sides so far. It was Charlotte Foley who played the ball into the scrum, and then Molyneux took it forward, moving it down this right hand side early on. Good defence once again by the Castleford defenders. They'll move it back in field now. It's another good carry. Dodd in there for the Tigers. I think there was a decision to move her infield, wasn't there? She's playing in the back row. We've seen her as the season's gone on, since she made her debut in the Challenge Cup final, playing a variety of positions, but moved in field now. The nice crash ball there. Wigan, well, the ball carrier did get a nose through. No chance of getting an offload away. The kick is cleared, another one into Maisie Lum. They've targeted her early on, but that's maybe showing you, as much as she made that error early on, maybe why you shouldn't do, because a ball returns, her carries are very impressive so far.
She's a very dangerous player. She might be a youngster, might be a little bit inexperienced, but Maisie Lum is a danger on the field, so I don't know if it's the right decision to target her, but we'll see as this game goes on.
Gentles comes from the left hand side with the carry, and the ball came loose, but she protested straight away that it was a ball steal, and in the end the referee agreed with her.
She was having none of that, was she?
Just watching it back here, well, not entirely sure. Anyway, the first penalty of the game goes to the Castleford Tigers. Yeah, we'll restart pretty much on halfway here, with Sinead Peach waiting to give that ball on, and there she is once again. Shauna Hoyle, she carries the ball with intent. You can't deny her that's for certain. Here is Marshall. And then a bit of a fumble there by Jasmine Cudjoe, the 20-year-old. She had some rotten luck with injuries in the last 12 months, but back playing and impressive as well, but she won't want to see that back.
She missed out the second half of last season after being involved in a car accident, and she's only came back in the second half of this season. So she's happy to be back playing, and let's see if she can make an impact in the semi-final.
So Wigan have certainly had plenty of possession early on. gone under the radar really, Wigan, this year, given that they are, when all said and done, the defending champions. But Castleford's impressiveness and Leeds winning the Challenge Cup has seen Wigan not really mentioned much this year, but I think we've seen early on as Marsh moves the ball on that they certainly aren't a team to be messed around with.
They certainly can't be underestimated. I mean, they had a coaching change halfway through the season, and you know they've played all right. I mean, they lost 16-0 to Leeds, which, you know, away at Leeds to the Challenge Cup winners, you have to say that is not a horrific result. So, you know, they'll be looking to impress today.
Going to move it to this left-hand side on this occasion, moving it, and that's a good introduction into the line by Greenfield, and they've got the ball away into the path of Megan Grace Holding. She's tackled with Wigan only 20 or so metres out here. Back towards the middle, strong carry, and they've almost breached that amber and black wall. They got the offload away. Oh, this is brilliant from Wigan, and they're going to go in for the first try here. Absolutely outstanding play from Rebecca Greenfield, but the referee has pulled it back and denied Wigan what was an absolutely outstanding try. We'll have to get a replay of that one, but in the end it's a 20-metre tap, so I assume the referee, before we see the replay, has given a knock on there.
He has. It looks like that, yeah. And I mean, Wigan will be absolutely distraught about that. What a try that could have been for the Warriors to open the scoring as well and put Castleford under some pressure, so they'll be disappointed with that, but play goes on.
It was really sensational, that from the Warriors, to break the line, the reverse pass, the offload. It was truly fantastic rugby league, but Castleford, to their credit, forced the error, scrambling to make that last ditch tackle, and now they're coming for themselves with Dodd, who runs the ball in field, is going to be brought down eventually, but I don't think she's going to be brought down. In fact, she gets an offload away. Didn't find Peach as the ball's fumbled, but Rhiannon Marshall juggles it, including with the use of her head, and keeps hold of the ball.
Well, we saw Emma Lumley lose the ball, saw Jasmine Cudjoe lose the ball, Rhiannon Marshall struggling to keep hold of it, so something is up, but here's Emma Slow.
Good offload there. Slow comes forward, trying to get that offload away. She just about kept hold of the ball there when she saw the Wigan player in her sights blocking her passing line. This is the last tackle with the Tigers only 10 out. Roach kicks through, takes a ricochet. Good fullback play there from Rebecca Greenfield. Brave, well positioned, and got hold of the ball for the Warriors. They now have the challenge of coming for themselves out of their own yardage. It won't be easy from here, because Castleford have been very dominant in the collisions early on, as we see again there, freeing the tackle straight to the floor. And this is what Castleford can do to you. They can almost suffocate you into submission, really. We're seeing that now, but we're going to try and force the way forward by spreading the ball. We've made some metres out of back play there. Dummy half, they'll go to the left-hand side. That's a nice ball. There could be a break on here. Great offload as well, but they have just about kept hold of the ball, but then the thumping tackle comes in on Holding. And eventually, despite the fact, I think she was holding the ball round her back there, just about. She did do extremely well, but in the end the ball's gone out. Let's have a look at this replay now then. It was a great offload there, and then the other one out of the back, and it looked like they were going to go through from Greenfield, but yeah, you could just see on that replay she just about lost the ball in the process of scoring. Outstanding scrambling defence from the Castleford Tigers.
Yeah, they managed to clear the danger for a while. Now they've got the possession, and they'll be hoping to open the scoring here soon, because I think we are about 10 minutes now into this game, still scoreless.
Indeed. Here come the Tigers once again, and that was Lacey Owen with the carry. A few instructions being backed out by Peach, and there is a penalty for the Tigers, with Wigan guilty of just holding on a little bit too long. It was Vanessa Temple, the guilty party on that occasion. Real opportunity now for the Tigers to put some pressure on here, and they will start with Emma Slow, who's got her arm free, looks for that offload. She's still going, so hard to put to the floor. She's managed to keep her feet, and that means she gets a quick play of the ball away. Here they come, it's back with Peach, they're moving it to the right. They should have the numbers here. They've got a huge overlap. Cudjoe on the ball, steps inside one, gets the pass away, and have they gone in? I think the Tigers have. Excellent move, and it's Tara Jane Stanley who finishes it off. Wigan have been more than in this contest and have had the better opportunities, but it is the Tigers who strike first. Tara Jane Stanley the scorer. It's Wigan 0, Castleford 4.
Well, what a way for Tara Stanley to become Castleford's top scorer of the season at this point in time. She's on 22 now. What a sensational try from the Tigers, moving that ball out down the right, and what a way to finish as well.
Great play from Kudjo there to step inside and then get the offload away. She could have gone it alone. Tried that, didn't she? But then she had the intelligence to make sure she kept her arm free and get the ball out wide for the try.
That penalty that Wigan conceded now seems also costly, with Castleford taking the lead. But not an easy kick here for Tara Stanley. Touchline conversion perhaps, we'll see. She's kicked a couple this season here at the Jungle from this position.
Well, it can't really get any harder than this, can it?
No,
Let's
it
be
can't.
honest.
No.
Certainly not for a right footer.
Yeah.
You've not got the angle to swing it around. Well, let's see what she can do with this one. Just lining it up now. What will the two coaching staff of the respective teams be telling their teams at the minute, do you think?
Well, I think Wigan will be pretty pleased with how they started. Obviously, they'll be gutted by going behind, but I think more of the same from Wigan. Keep pushing them, keep pushing the Tigers. It's obviously wet conditions here at the Jungle, as this kick just can't reach its goal, so it will be 4-0 to Castleford Tigers. But yeah, with regards to Lindsay Anfield, I think the Tigers will be looking for more, a little bit more tempo, a little bit more pace in attack. They did great to finish off that try there to take a 4-0 lead.
Absolutely. Well, Wigan will get us back underway very shortly. Just looking at that try again. Wigan just got the numbers wrong in the end, didn't they? They didn't spread it wide enough. But a good finish from Tara Jane Stanley. Just giving them this lead now. Wigan will get us back underway with Georgia Wilson kicking off. Castleford will allow it to bounce and then pops up invitingly, and forward they come once again. We'll restart 20 metres from their own line, leading 4 points to 0. Good carry forward again. Castleford, one thing you would say so far, just a bit stronger in yardage, aren't they? They seem to have more success bringing the ball out of their own yardage than Wigan have. Almost up to halfway now. That ball moved to the left once again, and this is Lacey Owen up to halfway. Peach at dummy half. Ball moved on to Slow, who again tries to get that arm free. He's brought down this time, up to her feet. Peach will move it to the right. Marshall the kicker, and she's got some elevation on that one. This is a test. Well taken. Very, very well taken. A cast chasing line strong, and we're going to restart 20 metres out.
Well taken, especially the pressure of the fans. You know, we've got 500 or 600 or so people shouting while they're trying to catch the ball. It's not so easy, but she's done well.
Now Wigan bringing the ball away as Dodd's the one who lines up that hit on Temple. She's brought to ground, and here come the Warriors down the right hand side. Again, it's Molyneux who's got through a heap of work early on in this game. Real workhorse in the Warriors pack. Going to move it now into Foley, and they move it to the left. Here's Greenfield with that weaving run, and she gets the ball away down to that left hand side. Footwork on that edge, but good defending from the Tigers. Great flowing move though from Wigan to get the ball to Holding. Then comes the kick, and again it's another test, this time for the other fullback. Stanley takes it. Was she ever not going to take it? Calm and composed, steps through past a few players, and he's brought down 15 metres out. But a good set for Wigan.
She'll be happy with that catch, will Tara Stanley, because she dropped 3 or 4 of those away at St Helens, so it'll give her some confidence. But as you say, that move from Wigan was decent down the left, but Maisie Lum coming back to defend, she did well.
Absolutely. Here come Castleford, almost up to halfway now with Stanley at dummy half. I'm going to try and move that ball down the right hand side. Tell you what, Shauna Hoyle's really causing problems for Wigan. I don't think she's ever been tackled on first collision, has she, as Marshall brings the ball forward.
Yeah, Shauna Hoyle, huge experience, played for England, been to World Cups. She knows what this is all about.
Here is Roach, right footed kick. It's trapped. Not the cleanest first touch, but enough to diffuse the kick, and bring it forward. I tell you what, it's not a bad carry either by
Certainly not.
Greenfield, who came close to that opening score not too long before. Castleford hit back with what was the first try of this game. Here they come once again with Wilson. Approaching halfway here. The ball moved left by Marsh. Strong carry, good offload, and Marsh is there again to bring the ball forward. Over halfway now, Wigan with only a 4-point deficit working against them so far, and we've played 17 and a half minutes. Slow to the feet on this occasion, but they'll move it to the right hand side now. They've loaded up this edge if they can spread it. In the end, the Castleford defensive line gets up in the faces and prevents them from doing that. It was the number 14 Holly Speakman who was caught in the ball. Little cheeky kick through there, which is a difficult one for Tara Stanley. She'll have heard the Wigan players chasing towards her. Molyneux was in there, as was Rachel Thompson, with that very, very mischievous kick that could have caused problems, but it was well dealt with by the fullback.
Yeah, brilliantly dealt with there by Tara Stanley as Castleford look to get out of their own half.
Good hit there. Great hit there. I think again that was Thompson, wasn't it, with the hit. She's making herself felt in this game with Castleford bringing the ball forward with Peach. Here is Slow again. That little late footwork. Again, love how she always is trying to get that arm free for the offload, and she's managed to do it here.
Absolutely brilliant from Emma Slow.
And Stanley's not the player that you want to give some space and some broken field to run into. Here is Peach. He wants a penalty, did Stanley. Had a look at the referee. Peach just wanted her to get on with it. Roach with another high kick, another tester for Greenfield, and she's dropped this one. Kicks the ball away. they almost went for to claim that, and it would have been accidental offside. Roach hasn't got any intention to take the scrum, and they're moving it down the right hand side. This is great play down that right channel. It's Maisie Lum with the carry. She's just about stayed in the field of play.
Well, everybody stopped for a second there, didn't they? But not Georgia Roach. Played it out to Tara Stanley, and Castleford have got an opportunity now.
Absolutely, to try and extend this lead. Hoyle brought down 5 out. Peach waits, and she waits to see what the referee gives. The referee gives a penalty because the ball was dislodged illegally there by the Warriors. And now Castleford consents and are hunting for another try. And Slow tries to do it herself. She's just about put to the deck, a metre from the line. Peach waits. Where will they go here? It's back to Peach. Good play. She juggles the ball, just about keeps hold of it, and eventually brought down by Molyneux. Good defending there from the Wigan number 13. Here's Marshall. Dummy shows it, goes it alone. She's over the line. Can she ground it? I think she's held up there by the Wigan defence. Great line defence there by the Wigan Warriors.
I tell you what, really good defence from Wigan Warriors, keeping Castleford at bay so far. But what an entertaining game this is turning out to be.
Here's Roach on the ball into Dodd. I thought it was, but it wasn't. It's a beautiful spin out pass. This could be a try in the corner as Gentles brings it back in field. She'll try and crash over. Wigan are there, and they've managed to prevent a absolutely delightful dummy from Georgia Roach. She fooled me here in the gantry. Then there's the crash ball. Good defence again though from Wigan. This is absolutely heroic from the Warriors. They've only got one more tackle to deal with here. It's into Slow, back to Peach. Peach spreads the play. They have the numbers again here. It's allowed to bounce. It means that Wigan can scramble across. And Stanley still trying to find a gap on that right edge. Throws the ball out, but it's just behind Maisie Lum. And Wigan survive. That was outstanding from the Warriors.
That was breathless, wasn't it? Wigan Warriors doing absolutely everything they can to hold on. And they managed it oh so well. And they'll be absolutely delighted with that.
Indeed they will. Indeed they will. Not many teams keep Castleford Tigers out from that.
Not like that. Repeat after repeat, but they managed to hold on. And I think Castleford will be a bit disappointed they couldn't get across. I mean, they've tried left, they've tried right, they've tried down the middle, under the sticks, everywhere, every single possibility. Wigan Warriors simply said, nope, you're not coming through.
Now, Wigan have it's the awful thing about rugby league, isn't it? You defend on your line, repeat after repeat, and you get the ball back, and then you're tasked with trying to get up the field. You're normally fatigued. They have brought a few interchanges on, it should be said in that time. Greenfield, who helped in those defensive efforts, she takes the latest drive forward. Peach is in there to make the tackle along with Cudjoe. Next up is Holly Dodd in the defensive line for Castleford. They come again. Strong carry there by the Warriors, who have done a decent job in getting out of their own yardage here. The latest carry coming in from Megan Bragg onto the field. Here is another substitute for the Wigan Warriors, and it's not a bad carry in the end. They're almost up to halfway. Eleanor Dainty with the carry, and then the kick towards the touchline. Maisie Love, no risks, could see the chasers come in and has let that ball go out for a scrum. So the Tigers will restart 40 metres out. But after those a few early errors, you'd have to say that the territory battle has belonged to the Tigers as this game's developed.
Yeah, it has. You have to say that it has. Can't argue with that. And Castleford, you know, with all those chances going big, and I think they'll be a bit disappointed that it's only 4-0. And Wigan Warriors, on the other hand, they'll know that the window of opportunity is still open if they can get some offensive rugby going.
Roach with the carry there now. Peach into Stanley. Tell you what, for a fullback, she takes a mighty amount of carries forward. She's very elusive, isn't she, with the ball?
She is.
Great footwork. Here come Castleford once again with Sammy Watts. Brought down 30 metres from the line. Well, it's actually 40. The pitch markings are very deceptive here at the Menderhose Jungle. Not the biggest, or certainly the longest pitch, which it shows on the markings as being 40 out, but it's more like 30. Anyway, last tackle for the Tigers. Marshall at dummy half. She just hesitates slightly there and then gets a sliced kick away. It's brought down, but then the tackle, and I feel sorry for poor Holly Dodd there. Yes. She was crushed by her own teammate Sammy Watts. Hand over. Good defensive set from Wigan.
It certainly was, and they've got possession now. As we said before, this is an opportunity for them to move down the field and threaten this Castleford defence. They've done it before. The try wasn't given. Can they do it again?
Well, the woman who is doing a lot of the work for them is Victoria Molyneux. That was her on the ball once more. Now they will come forward with Wilson, who's tackled with the Warriors trying to get in the Castleford half. They've not played down that side of the field much in the last 15 minutes or so, and they're keen to change that up as Sarah Harrison waits at dummy half. Forward they come. That is Dainty again, who's getting accustomed to being on the pitch after coming off the bench. Here they come once again. Harrison moves the ball right here. Nice little dummy there, and it's Bragg who's carrying it forward, brought down by 3 men. This is the last now, and again look at the delayed pass. Oh, it was such a good ball, that one. That was great play, and it was Martinez who had the chance to run forward there. Really like that from Thompson. Really like that. Delayed the pass, waited, drew in the defender, and got made an opening that unfortunately for Wigan they couldn't make the most of.
No, another opportunity going big in there for Wigan Warriors. You felt like they had the numbers there down the right, but unfortunately for them, it's not to be.
It's going to have a delay here because Megan Bragg is receiving some treatment. Help to her feet. She looks okay. Maybe took a bit of a whack to the face, if anything, there, Megan Bragg. Checking she's okay. The thumbs up.
Yeah.
Dusts herself off and ready to go again.
That's the thing I love about rugby league. Dust themselves off. Everything is always all right.
Absolutely. Well, Rihanna Marshall coming off to a rapturous applause. Played well, hasn't she, in that first game?
Oh, she has. She's a very talented player. I'm sure she's going to do a job for England when that PNG tour comes around.
Absolutely. Well, Mercy Owen carries forward. Here is Peach. Tries to find a gap. The Wigan defenders were retreating. She spotted an opportunity and she almost made the most of it. Here's Dodd now, dummies, late as she gets to the line. Tackled over halfway. Peach just has a little glance to the left here. Castleford have loaded up to the right. That's where they'll go in the end. Roach at first receiver. And there is Watts. This game has firmly entered an arm wrestle now, you'd have to say. Cudjoe on the ball, always looks lively. Moves the ball to the right. Firm fend off there from Hoyle, and eventually she's put on the deck by a strong tackle. Last now for Cass. Where will they go with this one? Well, it goes into Roach. Puts that high crossfield kick in. Greenfield's making space to get there. She's dropped the ball. As the referee judged it's gone backward. No, she hasn't. She just couldn't quite decide whether to take that one on the full or let it bounce, and in the end it bounced awkwardly into her, and it's forced an error.
It was tricky, wasn't it? It was a tricky decision to make, and she's met the wrong one, and Castleford will be happy with this field possession here. They're going to have a great opportunity to put another try on the board. But we saw last time they had a number of good opportunities, and Wigan held them off.
Absolutely. They'll take some encouragement from that, but this is most certainly a firm test of their defensive mettle. As Stanley gets the ball wide to Lum. Can Lum find the corner? Yes, she can. The Tigers have their second, a traditional vintage play from the scrum, and it's come up trumps for the Tigers. It's Maisie Lum with the try, and Castleford lead 8-0.
Well, that was just magisterial rugby league there. Beautiful play from the Tigeresses, shifting that ball out to the right. And obviously Maisie Lum getting her 13th try of the season. Not bad for an 18-year-old. Brilliant effort from the youngster.
The wraparound there with Roach, outstanding, and credit to Stanley too, because that ball needed to be executed well, and she nailed that pass, and Lum did the rest.
She absolutely did. I thought for a second that might not work out. They've tried it before against Saints, but it worked out here to perfection, and Maisie Lum reaping all the rewards.
If you were Chris Ratcliffe, the Wigan coach now, what would you be saying to your troops?
First of all, I'd be quite disappointed that it's still a 0 on the scoreboard for Wigan, because they've had the chances, they've had the opportunities. It's hard, you know. They've put everything they can so far in this game. It's just been that bit of quality from Castleford that has separated the two teams.
And they struggled to get down the right end of the field, haven't they? As well, Wigan, which is a challenge for them, just to make headway into the Castleford half. They can start doing that and get a little bit more territory. They may have a bit of luck. Stanley again. Well, her angles aren't too bad with the kicks, but not quite got the legs on them to get the touchline conversion so far this afternoon. But nevertheless, Castleford in control of this game. 8-0 they lead. And Wigan not chasing the game yet. It's too early to say that. We've only played 27, well, almost half an hour now since the try was scored, but they do face the challenge just to try and restrain Castleford from making the metres that they are doing at the minute. If they can do that, then this game could be different. Anyway, we will get back underway now. Wilson to kick the restart. Collected, and off come the Tigers once again. Peach waiting at dummy half as ever. There's the latest carry coming forward. That was better, stronger defence from Wigan, freeing the tackle. But paid dividends on this occasion. Crash ball there. It looked like it may have been ever so slightly forward from Sinead Peach into the path of Gracefield, but it was a good carry all the same. And there is Peach again, straight out of dummy half. Always makes us quick. Oh, that's a delightful offload to Emma Slow, but the referee has adjudged a mistake there, and Wigan will get the head and feed.
A bit of a role reversal. Normally it's Emma Slow who produces the offloads, but almost a beautiful play from Castleford. That pass from Sinead Peach going a bit forward, and Wigan and will have the ball.
I think they'll be relieved to have the ball as well, won't they? They just need
massively,
just need to try and get themselves a foothold in this game, this moment in time. Here's Greenfield, who almost gave them that lead early on, but hasn't been the case so far. Forward they come down that left edge. 3 strong defenders in there once again for the Tigers. Bring the ball in field now. Just creeping forward. This is a rare venture into the Castleford half since the opening 10 or 15 minutes for Wigan.
Yeah, since they spelled that out at the start, they haven't really been inside of Castleford's half. And let's see whether they can cause some trouble for Castleford on this occasion.
Harrison instigates the blindside play. Dealt with as Temple is brought to ground. Here she is again. Harrison goes for the early kick, one for Stanley to deal with, collects it well, steps It is brought down low by Rebecca Greenfield, and here's Gentles, quick out of dummy half. It has to be said that the Tigers have been so impressive. That was rich, surely. Yes. That was an obvious ball steal. That was one of the easiest decisions the referee will have all afternoon, I think. Penalty for the Tigers. Gentle, she's such a handful, isn't she? It just bumps players off, and you can see why they end up trying to steal the ball from her.
She's an absolute nightmare, especially if you're coming up against her. And she'll be hoping to leave her mark here in this semi-final. Obviously not the greatest of performances against Saints. This obviously could turn out to be a very good day for Kelsey Gentles, especially with the Men and the Women of Steel Awards coming up later on in the day.
Absolutely, I think we'll both be there, won't we? Looking forward to that. Yeah. Should be a great evening for all involved, including the Women's Super League as well. Here they come down the left. That's a great ball into Dodd from Roach, and they had the numbers on the outside there, but Dodd took the ball in herself. Roach moves into the dummy half position, and there's the latest carry forward again. Castleford making these metres forward. That was Lumley. They're moving it down the blind side. Gentles is trying to speed away over, not quite to be on this occasion. Wigan holding firm. Infield they come with Lacey. Owen tackled a few metres out. Last now for the Tigers. What can they do here? Looking for the third try of the afternoon. It's a crossfield kick from Roach. The chase is on from Stanley. Who'll collect it? It is Stanley. She drops down, scores the try. It's yet another try, and look at Stanley and Georgia Roach. That's something that's been worked on the training ground by that celebration. The two combine, and Castleford have a 12-0 lead.
Yeah, Tara Stanley does brilliantly to collect that kick and put it down in order to score Castleford's third try of the game, her second now. So a sensational effort from Tara Stanley, and Castleford moving forward ahead.
Just had the attendance given to us here, 1,449. Great following. Great following for this occasion, this match, these teams.
They build this game as the record at the Jungle. It's not quite the record, but it's still a superb turnout here at the Menderhose Jungle. 1,449. Well,
now you put it into context and look at League One attendances, Championship attendance. That does beat attendances at these games in the
most League One games.
Yeah, absolutely. There are teams in the Championship, the second tier of the men's game, that can't boast that sort of attendance on a weekly basis. So something for the Tigers to be very proud of.
Certainly is. I mean, the Castleford locals, they when they see a successful side in the Castleford Tigers women, they immediately got behind them, and they've supported them all the way through the season. They've been absolutely superb.
Must be great for the girls as well to play on these sort of platforms. The conversion good as well. 14 points to 0. The Tigers look comfortable with it.
Well, you spoke about what it means to the girls having a big crowd. I can give you a little story. I mean, I spoke to Kelsey Gentles a few weeks back, just before the Challenge Cup final, and she was saying, how back in the old era of women's rugby league, before Women's Super League, whenever you'd score a try, you'd really want to throw the ball into the crowd, but there was nobody there. And now obviously it's changed. There is somebody there. She can throw the ball into someone, and that's what she's wanted to do. That's what all the girls have wanted to do, and it's fantastic.
Absolutely. And of course, let's not forget a big platform incoming for the winners of this game and the one between Leeds and St Helens in the grand final. Should be exciting as Cass make a bit of a meal of that kick return. In the end, they've just about got hold of the ball, and we'll restart in their own 10. Bit of a nervy moment there. They've dealt with the situation and will bring the ball forward. It's coming down this right hand side with Hoyle on the ball once again. She's lost the ball on this occasion. The referee has given a knock on this time. It's a big hit. Big physical hit there, and it's come up trumps for Wigan. And finally, for the Warriors, they have a chance to attack the Castleford line. And they'll be very pleased with that opportunity. And one that maybe with 3.5 minutes to go in this first half, one they need to take, trailing 14-0.
Yeah, certainly so. I mean, Wigan... Oh my word! Where did that come from?
Owen on Greenfield. That was a humdinger of a hit. bringing it down the right with Molyneux, gets the handoff away, could have offloaded to Wilson but decided to hold on. They have tackles in the bag here. Here's Martinez, she brings the ball forward over the 10, eventually brought to the floor. Now then, an opportunity for the Wigan Warriors here to strike back. Braggs in the first receiver position. They go down the blind side though. Here they come, the pass out wide, Gentles is there, but Wilson's got away from her and has scored in the corner. Great finish there from Georgia Wilson to get away from Gentles and crash over. A lifeline for the Warriors. It's now Castleford 14, Wigan Warriors 4.
It's game on. It's absolutely game on now. Georgia Wilson, brilliant finish down that right side. And Wigan Warriors will be thinking to themselves, we're not out of this contest yet. We're still in it. We're still fighting. We've still got an opportunity.
Really impressed with Rachel Thompson again. Just picked out that pass, waited for the opportunity, gave the crash ball, and then full credit to Georgia Wilson. Had some work to do to get away from Gentles, but managed to do so. And let me tell you, there's not many wingers that have managed to beat Kelsey Gentles in one-on-ones like that this season.
Yeah, I've got to agree with that. She did absolutely superbly, and Wigan Warriors reaping the rewards here.
Now the chance to tag on the extras and cut this deficit down to single digits. Certainly not an easy one. Right in the corner. Wilson looking to convert her own try. I tell you what, it's not a bad effort. She had the length, didn't she? Just not quite the angle. Just pushing it, nudging it wide of that right post. So 14-4 with a couple of minutes to the break. But that, you feel like, will do them the world of good and give them a huge confidence boost going into the break.
Yeah, it certainly will. It will show them that, you know, they haven't scored a try. You have to remember, in two successive games. This is the first time they've scored in over 180 odd minutes of rugby league. So it'll be a massive confidence boost, and hopefully they can use that momentum now to drive forward and make this into a really competitive second half.
Stanley will get us underway. Long kick collected by the Wigan number 18 Charlotte Foley, and forward come the Warriors. Not long at all now to go in this first half into the closing stages. Latest carry comes in from the try scorer Wilson. Harrison at dummy half moves it to the left to Molyneux. Late step, try and get her way through two defenders who eventually bring her down, but she wins a penalty there. Tamsin Renouf was involved in that tackle, but they have a penalty. Time is ever so slightly running out on them here though. Forward they will come once again. That is Dainty. She's almost at halfway, where she's brought down. The ball's come loose. The referee's given another penalty there. The referee's changed his mind and waved play on. I'm not sure how it could be a play on that. I think it must have been a penalty or a knock on, but nevertheless we're allowing play to resume here with Harrison going down that blind side. That's a good step as well. Oh, my goodness. Grace Field wanted to make sure that tackle was completed, didn't she? She did so.
She did so, yeah.
Here is Harrison at dummy half. Time running out now for the Wigan Warriors.
I'll tell you what, if they can get something on the board, well, they can't before the whistle. No.
That is the half-time whistle that brings to an end a pulsating 40 minutes of rugby league. Wigan had some opportunities early on, went ever so close for Rebecca Greenfield, but then Castleford really got a hold of the game. 2 tries from Tara Stanley, 1 from Maisie Lum, gave them a 14-0 lead before Georgia Wilson, just maybe, gave Wigan a lifeline going into the break. Thoughts at half-time?
Well, it was a great first half, wasn't it, from both teams, to be honest, because Wigan started well, didn't they? They had that opportunity, they did get a cross, but ruled out for a knock-on, and they'll be disappointed with that. Imagine the way this game would have panned out if that would have been given, but was not to be. Castleford came back strong, got 14 points on the board, but Wigan, they're not out of it yet. That try in that second half from Georgia Wilson keeps them in this contest, and we're in for an exceptional second half.
Well, we've certainly seen plenty of good action, haven't we, from the two teams. But at half-time, Castleford 14, Wigan Warriors 4. go through some of the highlights, shall we? Starting with this Wigan chance. It was a fantastic opportunity, wasn't it? A great offload there into Greenfield, and Tara Stanley doing what all fullbacks should do and make sure that they get in at the last possible moment to make that tackle and dislodge the ball, and that could very well prove to be a key moment in this game.
Who knows? Yeah, as you say, could prove to be the difference maker. You never know. And if it does, we'll look back at that as looking, as the key moment. But unlucky for Wigan Warriors.
Yeah, it was Sibold with the initial carry and break and the offload, and just at the last possible moment, at the very last possible moment, Stanley came in. So she did her duty at one end of the field, but it wasn't just at that end of the field where she came up trumps, was it? She provided this try in the corner. A great scrum play once again from Castleford. Wasn't the first time, the last time I should say, that we would see them do well from the scrum. Cudjoe with the step, getting the offload away, and Stanley diving over in the corner despite the best efforts of Wigan's scrambling defence. And just watch this back again. It was that wraparound. Peach with the ball there, and Roach's distribution has been fantastic today. Cudjoe with the step, pulled in a defender, and Stanley did the rest.
Yeah, did the important bit, didn't she?
This was the next try through Maisie Lum, who crashed over again from that scrum play. Almost a carbon copy in many ways, but you've got to say the ball from Tara Jane Stanley to Maisie Lum there was exquisite, but there was still work for Lum to do. She did it very, very well.
Yeah, they call her the finisher, and you can see why. I mean, she did really well there. Nothing was forgiven. She had to finish the job, and she certainly did.
And I just love the wrap round on this one. It's so old school. Don't see it often anymore, but it worked a treat. That ball there is great to Maisie Lum. I tell you what, she catches that ball down low, manages to adjust herself and keep the power of her run going so that she can crash over. It's a great finish by the way.
It was superb, wasn't it? Absolutely superb. It could turn out to be a crucial try in the context of this game as well. Beautiful play from Castleford.
Absolutely. So Tara Stanley, she couldn't in the end convert either of the tries, but she would score another one and convert this one. Great crossfield kick from Georgia Roach, collected by Stanley, who got the ball down. And you may know more than me here, but that must have been something worked on, because that celebration suggests that they were very happy with each other's contribution to that try.
Well, perhaps so. I'm not giving anything away. I'm not giving sort of details away, but yeah, they might have worked on that. They might have discussed it once or twice, but yeah, I mean, great try, wasn't it?
Precise kick.
Yeah.
Precise kick, great leap, and the try was awarded. That one was converted, but then Wigan, after a mistake by the Tigers, made sure they made the most of it. Great ball out wide, you have to say, and Georgia Wilson in the corner. Great feat to get away from Gentles there. She didn't have a lot of room to work with, but she used it every last inch to her advantage to make sure that she could get that try in the corner.
She did brilliantly, didn't she? I mean, brilliant effort from Georgia Wilson, brilliant effort from Wigan Warriors, and as we see it again here, just shifting it down the right.
It's a great ball out wide as well, but then just the power to get away from Gentles.
And she, from a sort of a psychological point of view, she'll know she got the better of somebody who was nominated for the Women of Steel Award. She'll be personally really proud of that.
Absolutely. And that's where we are left now. Castleford Tigers 14, Wigan Warriors 4. Second half action incoming very, very shortly. The Tigers 14 minutes away from the grand final. Exciting times indeed for the Tigers and their crowd here. Over 1,400 here. They'll be very impressed with that. So at half time, it is indeed Castleford 14, Wigan Warriors 4. She's out from the line. Now it's moved to the left. Bowes. Leah Jones on the outside. This could be the first score.
She's over. Yep,
she has got in. Great score from Hannah Donald.
Dummy half running, and then kicked early, found space, and obviously pinned him. Oh, we see a line break here. I think it's Derbyshire.
Yeah, Derbyshire,
great foot here from
feet.
Leah Derbyshire. She's going to go all the way. This is a fantastic try, Dave. Outstanding.
Wonderful play. Great break from Leah Derbyshire. What pace there. Power to get through the line.
Wowzers.
As you can see there.
Yeah, they're looking to go this right side, aren't they?
Harrison. Wide pass. Wide
That's
pass.
right.
Martinez will go over. Good play by Wigan.
Well, you could see it from up top, couldn't we? They really loaded this short side up.
To the try line. Amy Boardman.
Oh.
And then Hickey. Offloads. It's a try.
It's a try.
It's an excellent move as well. The offload came in. Amy Hardcastle followed up. And try number 21 for the season for Amy Hardcastle. But she just didn't give up on the play, didn't they? And Savannah Andrade on tackling duties there. Just think they've spotted something there, Wigan. They take it down the left-hand side. Wilson with her second carry. Oh, Wilson. The tackle. Goes forward. 5 metres out from the line. Thought just for a second she was free. Marsh passes right. Molyneux tips it on. Is this the try? It is.
That's a great try for Wigan.
Lovely link-up play right across the middle, and Foley goes in. Definitely worked in the first half for them, didn't it?
Yeah, made a couple of inroads, yep.
Down this right-hand side it comes, but Hardcastle has to switch direction. Heads off back down the left. She's got Dunn for company.
Oh, nice
Dunn's
play.
got pace. Oh, lovely
nice
movement.
rugby.
Great running by Donald. Donald taking on everybody. Oh, she's got past the fullback.
What
fantastic
a try.
play.
Oh, fantastic.
Hannah Donald, that is a try of some quality, is that one. Bradford on the front foot. Can they make the most of it? Ball comes down this right-hand side. Wainwright Morley throws a dummy. Gets an offload away. Magnificent play.
Andre's going to score.
Andrade down the ground. She just needs to finish it, and she will.
Oh, what a try.
That was special. What a special try that was. Magnificent. Can they hold out again? Wigan knocking on the door. Walsh out the back. Oh, there's space here. There is space. And there's Bagley.
She's out.
Bagley for the corner, and she scored. It's given. And we're all tied up at 20 points each. Highlights there from Women's Super League action in recent weeks. With no chance to talk about it because we're back underway here in the Women's Super League playoff semi-final with Castleford bringing the ball forward, leading 14 points to 4 and already underway. I tell you what, we normally allow for a 10-15 minute break, so every game that I seem to do recently, everyone just wants to get on with it. We'll have about 5 minutes there.
Well, they're not messing around, are they? They want to get on with the action, and here we go. I'm sure the fans will be outside having a beer or something. They won't know this is going on.
I tell you what, I'm glad I didn't go for a second cheeseburger because I would. You'd have been going solo for the first 5 minutes of this second half. Anyway, forward come the Tigers. Last tackle into Georgia Rokes with that high hanging crossfield kick. Not an easy one. That's fumbled backwards in the end, and they'll bring the ball away with Greenfield. In to make the tackle is that aggressive Tigers chase. The woman that was leading that was Maisie Lum. She's involved again in the latest tackle on the Warriors on holding. Ever so slightly fortunate there maybe was Lucy Eastwood, keeping herself in the ruck. Anyway, Wigan come forward now. Oh, big hit. Big hit there. Amanda Siebold brought the ball in. Here now is Harrison in to the path of her teammate Jade Gregory Hazelden, who's got through a fair bit of work so far. Down this blind side into Thompson, who dummies and shows and goes, and she's through. She needs some support. Runs it towards the sticks. This is a big opportunity for a try. Can she beat Stanley? No, she can't. Great fullback play. What a fantastic weaving, marauding run that was from Rachel Thompson. But in the end, Tara Jane Stanley again prevailing in her defensive duties.
I'll tell you what a sensational run that was. But you could see Tara Stanley just waiting for it. She waited and waited and looked at what was going to happen, and she was in the right place at the right time to stop this from becoming a try for Wigan.
But early confidence booster there for the Wigan Warriors to go from one end of the field to the other in one full set. That will give them a world of good going into the start of this second half.
Oh, I mean, you don't get a bigger confidence booster than that. Now they know they can friend this Castleford defence. They're going to go after the punch, and they want to land another one. Let's see.
Here's Dodd, brings the ball forward, busts the defending tackle almost up to halfway, and Peach navigates away from the ruck so well and gets 10, 15 metres upfield, still going. Sinead Peach, she's been fantastic for the Tigers. Last tackle.
She absolutely has, all season long. Very consistent player, and producing this consistency today.
Not a bad kick from Roach that's collected by Wilson. Oh, wow. I tell you what, this is why I don't play rugby league. When you see collisions like that, I'm having none of that. I'll stick to talking about it from well away from that rugby league field. Here come Wigan with Harrison at dummy half. Love the way she looks both ways before deciding which option to take, and I also love the cheekiness of her trying to fool defenders by looking one way and then going the other way every single time. I'm not sure how successful it was. That wasn't the greatest of passes by the number 7 though, leaving a teammate in trouble. Here they come once again through Gregory Hazelden, brought down. Well, they've only made about 25 metres there. This is the last tackle, and Thompson will have to come up with something. Dinks it over the top, allowed to bounce by Maisie Lum. That might not have been wise. It's kicked on, they hacked on there by Molyneux. Oh, good play, Tara Jane Stanley once again. Brave as houses there.
I know, the bravery shown there from Tara was exceptional, and you know, she putting her body there on the line for her team. Not for the first time.
I'll tell you something. She may be scoring tries and she maybe will get the headlines for that, but it's been a toughness without the ball that's really impressed me today. She's come up with some big plays defensively.
That first one, of course, in the first half.
Yeah.
Now again.
Absolutely. We've got a pause in play here.
Yeah.
It was a bit of an innocuous coming together there, wasn't it? Both players appear to be okay. Let's hope they are anyway. Seabold and, from a Castleford perspective, Eastwood. Looks like both will be good to continue. There'll be a little bit of stiffness in there after a coming together between the two players. Anyway, we will resume both players fit to get on with the game, which is always good to see. Here is Shona Hoyle, who, I tell you what, she gets through a lot of work, doesn't she?
She's a workhorse, isn't she? It's Shona Hoyle.
Here's Lumley, brought down by 3 defenders. Peach at dummy half, moving it to the left with Cudjoe. Now Roach takes it to the line, then that little cross ball into Dodd. Good play, tackle made. Good defence again from Wigan. Wilson coming off the wing to help complete that tackle. Little bit of afters there between the two teams as Stanley gets that high kick away. Both teams go for it. It's ended up hitting a player, but what's the referee giving here? He's giving offside against Castleford. So maybe a little bit of fortune there for Wigan, who'd made a meal of that, haven't they? Just a bit of a communication breakdown between the left edge.
Yeah.
Nevertheless, they get the penalty, and Thompson, who has impressed me. She's really impressed me today with her passing ability. She kicks the touch.
Thompson has been impressive today. Wilson, I thought she's had a good game so far in this game. Molyneux has been busy.
Yeah,
Greenfield has done well. So Wigan have got some good individual performances in today.
Not out of this yet as Molyneux brings it forward. Yeah, Molyneux's impressed from a Wigan perspective as well, hasn't she?
She's been impressive, yeah.
Workhorse, fair to say. Oh, bit of a fumble there. Shona Hoyle.
I'll tell you what, you want full control of the ball when you see Shona Hoyle running straight at you.
You'd rather she just didn't run at you, really, wouldn't you? Here's Thompson with that delayed pass again into Greenfield, who's eventually brought down just shy of the 20-metre mark inside this Castleford half. Harrison waiting at dummy half, plays it infield to Thompson. That little crash ball again into Seaball, but the tackle made once again. Lumley involved for the Tigers. This is the last now for Wigan, the defending champions, of course. Harrison waits, gives the ball on. Last play, still going, and eventually the tackle made by Hoyle. And we will start with a turnover for the Tigers. They will start 5 metres from their own line again.
I mean, if you're going to turn over the ball, that is a great place to turn it over, and Wigan will be pretty pleased with that. I think it's the second best thing without scoring a try, so they'll be pretty pleased. Maisie Lum
on the ball there for Castleford, who lead 14 points to 4. Oh, good offload there into Peach. Bragg with the big shot there for Wigan. Here's Gentles at the play. Well, not seen her in this second half, but she might make something of this carry forward. In fact, it's a strong one, but she's been wrapped up by Wilson, who, considering that she's come up against a Women of Steel candidate on that edge, has been good. She's really dealt with her well, hasn't she?
She has. I mean, Kelsey Gentle's not the easiest of players to deal with. She's a menace on the ball, but Georgia Wilson has done really well today to keep her at bay.
Last tackle, cast on halfway. Roach in at dummy half with the kick, allowed to bounce. It will be the number 12 who makes the carry up, Temple. And I tell you what, she reversed upfield there quite impressively. Here they come through another of their backline, Holding. And she's met by Roach. Harrison at dummy half, just getting a little bit tetchy around the ruck, isn't it, between the two teams?
It is.
Was quite clean early on and not quite the same now, as a little bit of aggression shown there towards Bragg. We've got a pause of play. Rhiannon Marshall back on the field. But yeah, it was quite clean and well kept, wasn't it, in that first half? But
yeah, in the opening,
a few shoves and bit of handbags as such. You see it all the time in the game. It's not uncommon, but we have seen an injury there for Grace Field, who stayed down, hold her arm, and she's stayed down too, and she's gone off the field, which is a shame to see.
Big miss for Castleford if she is not to come back on, we'll see. But Grace Field, a highly influential player now. Bit of biff between the two teams.
Oh, it didn't quite come to that, did it? Lacey Owen maybe ever so slightly high. You can just feel the tempers boiling a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, the stakes could not be higher, could they? It is, after all, a semi-final, a place in the grand final, in the showpiece is on the line. So expect flares to get high, the tempers to go high.
Hope it doesn't boil over too much.
Exactly.
Don't want that happening. Anyone getting any suspensions, do we? Wigan bring it forward through Molyneux, who's met forcefully by that Wigan defence. Dodd involved again for the Castleford Tigers, and there's Hoyle, another strong defender, in with Emma Slow. Harrison points to the left and she goes to the right again. Ball goes backwards. Referee's given a knock on, and Wigan will be disappointed with that. Harrison put her hand up to apologise there. I think she knew she should have gone the other way. It's going to be a head and feet to the Castleford Tigers.
Yeah, a bit of possession now for the Tigers. About 10-15 metres away from the halfway line, inside their own half.
We will try and get you a latest score from the other playoff. So we've just been told that it's St Helens 14, Leeds Rhinos 8. So the Saints could be in the final. Who will they play?
Saints, playing at home against potentially Castleford or Wigan. They'll take that.
I think there was a knock on there from Hoyle. Slow through the offload. Slow's protesting that it came off the feet of Hoyle, which I can understand. I understand where her case was coming from there, but it has to be said. Hoyle didn't argue, did she?
No, she didn't. She didn't.
Head and feet to Wigan. They'll start only just short of halfway, so they have a decent chance to end the set in a decent position.
Yeah, you have to say this is another opportunity for Warriors.
But
it's just gone begging again. Another chance for Wigan, and they've lost it.
Uncharacteristic from Victoria Molyneux. She had a great game. Loose forward, but she just come up with a handling error there at a crucial moment.
Another crucial moment, another opportunity. They're not going to keep on coming. They're going to have to take as many chances as they can, especially coming up against Castleford here at the Mendoza Jungle.
Just watched it back there on the replay. Just unfortunate there as Stanley. Great feet again. So hard to get hold of, isn't she?
Oh, she is.
How quick she moves in from a standing start. There's Hoyle once again. Greenfield went in for a extra bite of the cherry there as such in the tackle. And may have been a bit lucky to get away with that one as Lumley brings it forward once more. Here's Peach, goes to the left, slow, brings it towards the posts. Bragg trying to sort the ball carrier out. She's got the quick play the ball away. Oh, they've switched off at market. Here's Sinead Peach. She deserves a try. I think she's got a try. Yes, she has. The Tigers are in again. Sinead Peach has been a menace from dummy half all afternoon. On this occasion, she's got the 4-pointer. Castleford now on the brink of the grand final. They lead 18 points to 4.
Wow, what a try for the Castleford Tigers. Sinead Peach spotting the gap and exploiting it with devastating effect. Brilliant stuff from Sinead Peach, putting Castleford within reaching distance of the Totally Wicked Stadium and the Women's Super League Grand Final.
Stanley will have the conversion attempt. But Sinead Peach, she's such a menace and so exciting out of dummy half, isn't she? She really does cause problems.
It's not the first time she's scored a try like that. I've seen a couple, one against Leeds, one against Saints early on in the season, round 3, 4, 5. She did it against them and she's done it again now. So, you know, she keeps on. Whenever she sees a gap, she's going to exploit it. So you certainly, from an opposition point of view, can't give her that opportunity.
And here is Tara Jane Stanley with this opportunity, left-footed. She's found the target, and that makes it 20 points to 4. We've got about 25 minutes left, and Wigan, you would say, now are chasing the game.
Now at this point, yeah, you can say that they are chasing the game, chasing the result and chasing a place in the grand final. It's an uphill task, but I still wouldn't rule them out. Still a lot of rugby league to be played, and you know what, if they got to try in the next 5 minutes or so, they could still become a threat in this game.
Yep, and I wouldn't disagree with that. Harrison has gone off the field for Wigan. And latest interchange incoming, Wilson will get us back underway. And here we go. Chance for Castleford now just to get through a set, kick deep, cause some problems. Good carry there as well from Watts. But an equally good tackle from Caris Marsh, who's just come back on the field for Harrison. Speakman involved too. Here's Gentles with the drive forward, put down by 2. Molyneux involved again, and coming forward now with Lacey. I tell you what, Lacey Owens played well as well, hasn't she, today?
Yeah, she certainly has. She's come a little bit under the radar, I think, because she's had a great performance.
It's been good, and another woman who's played well is Emma Slow, the offload merchant, isn't she?
She is. I mean, week in, week out, Emma Slow, when you look at the back at the stats, keeps on pumping out those offloads, and she's been a sensational addition to the team this season.
Here's Dodd. Good tackle down low from Molyneux, but Dodd's still going. Just decided against the offload in the end. This is the last tackle now. It'll go into Roach. Going to go down that blind side. Stabs it through. Allowed to bounce. So it's a testing one, but in the end, credit goes to Hayley Martinez because she just about managed to get hold of that ball, and there comes the tackle from Holly Dodd. Great hit, and you can feel now the Cass defence just wanting to inflict further pressure, exert further pressure on this Wigan Warriors attack. They've got some talent in this team, including Thompson, who gave that pass on, trying to come forward again. Thompson on the ball, crash ball, good defence, good carry, good rugby all round there from the two teams. Cudjoe involved in that defensive effort. Here's the last tackle. It hits a Castleford player in Hoyle. I doubt they'll suggest that she played at that. It should be a Castleford head and feed, I think. Renouf was involved too. Oh, they've given the head and feed to Wigan. That seems a little bit harsh. It did hit Shauna Hoyle, there's no doubt about that, but I don't think she played it.
Yeah, strange decision from the official. A few boos from the crowd, so you know what they think of that call.
Yeah, I think she's been a little bit hard done to there, Shauna Hoyle. But she didn't argue, so maybe we're doing the referee a disservice. Who knows?
Looks like an absolute threat, but off it, she's an absolute angel, so I can see why she's not arguing with the referee. Anything the ref says goes for Shauna.
Well, I'll tell you what, who also isn't an angel on the field, Holly Dodd, because she's just been banging players left, right and centre when she's not got the ball. And I tell you what, she's carried the ball with some force as well. She's been a great to watch, real talent in the women's game.
For someone who's 16 as well, and an absolute gem for Women's Rugby League.
Absolutely. There's Bragg, who's impressed since coming off the bench for the visitors. Here's Marsh down the right hand side. Molyneux joins the line, gets the offload away to Wilson. She's already got one. She's going for a second. She's almost at the line. She's just short. Last tackle. Castleford hanging on here. Wigan looking for a try that maybe can put them back in the game. Bragg maybe got in the way there.
Oh, my word! What was that?
Have that, says Shauna Hoyle, and look at the applause she gets from her teammates, let alone the crowd.
I'll tell you what, I saw her coming down, and that impact, well.
Let's watch this back on the replay. They just got a bit caught out. Bang!
Gantry shook, and I'm not kidding.
Rugby league isn't for me. Rugby league isn't for me. Oh my goodness gracious me. Shauna Hoyle has absolutely flattened the Wigan Warriors playing there. Wowzers.
And a nice round of applause.
We're going to have another look at this. Let's just watch this back once again. So they just got caught out, didn't they? I think it's Charlotte Foley who gets caught on the ball there.
Fortunately, I think it is, yeah.
Oh, and she's hurt, and that, you know, we don't want to talk it up all too much. And it's a great tackle, you can't deny that, but you don't want to see players injured as a result of any action on the field. No blame can be put on Shauna Hoyle, can it? Because it's a clean tackle, a fair tackle, nothing wrong with it. But let's hope that hope that Charlotte Foley's okay.
Of course, let's hope she's fine. Let's hope she at least can continue. But let's see. I mean, they're going to take her off the field. Hopefully, she's going to be fine.
Yeah, I think I'd want a rest after that. Yeah. Let's hope that there's not any serious injury there for Charlotte Foley. Been in the thick of it, hasn't she, this afternoon? And anyway, Castleford get us underway.
Should be a big miss for Wigan if she can't come back on, but we'll see.
She's being helped from the field. Gets a warm applause as well as she gets to the touchline, and an error there.
Sammy Watts just lost it there, and a chance for Wigan has opened up.
Absolutely. So maybe, just maybe, another opportunity for Wigan here to get back into this game. 20 points to 4, I should say, rather, with 19 and a half minutes to play. Here is Molyneux out of the back of the scrum, and Roach just drags her to the floor. And Lacey Owen got involved too. Here comes the latest carry. I noticed that Sinead Peach has left the field of play too for the Tigers.
Yeah.
I think that'll be a respite for that Wigan defence, won't it? They'll be glad to see the back of her.
Absolutely.
There's Lucy Bagley for the Warriors. And Harrison back on the field after a short breather. Thompson, that ball again into Seabold.
Cudjoe does well there to bring her down.
Absolutely. Harrison goes down the blind side into Thompson again, gets it out wide into Greenfield. Greenfield coming forward, gets the offload away. This is danger. Harrison towards the line. Can she navigate her way over? No, she can't. The Castleford defence stands firm and manages to keep her out. Last play, Thompson going for it along, gets the offload to Harrison. Can she get her way over? No, that defence from Castleford, too energetic, too desperate, and Wigan can't breach it.
No, they can't, and you have to feel like that was the opportunity which could, put them back in the game if they got a try out of it, but it's not to be. And Castleford, Well, they can take a breather now. They've got some possession.
Renouf with the first carry, and here's Stanley again. Those dancing feet were great to watch. Another player who's great to watch is Kelsey Gentles, who brings that ball forward. Now it's with Lacey Owen, who, for me, hasn't done anything stand out. Won't get the headlines, but she must be a man of the match contender for me today.
As you say, she won't get the headlines, but she'll get the praise that she wants from the head coach, because Lindsay Anfield will be thrilled with the way that young Lacey Owen has played today.
What will Lindsay Anfield be thinking at this stage? It's a strong performance, a good kick downfield there. What will be going through her head at the moment?
Probably not to lose control of this game now. As we saw, Wigan have had a few opportunities. The game could be going in a completely different direction.
What a long ball strip from Renouf. How cheeky was that?
Oh my word, beautiful play from Tamsin Renouf, and all of a sudden, chance for Cass.
And Watts brings it forward. One more try would surely do it for the Tigers. Into the closing 15 or so minutes now, and there's a gap there. Oh, it's opened up. How easy was that? And it wasn't Sinead Peach, who you normally expect to turn up in those positions, but Castleford won't care. They've got the ladies' try, and surely Castleford are going to the grand final.
Frankie Townend doing the business there, getting first try of the game for her. Beautiful stuff from Frankie Townend. Look at this. Spots a gap, exploits it, gets the points. Cass, one step away from the grand final.
And that may be the killer blow. Frankie Townend, well, let me tell you, it was like watching Sinead Peach, wasn't it? It was a beautiful little dummy, and she just strolled over without a finger laid on her. She'll be pleased with that one. And let me tell you saw the celebrations. Her teammates were happy with her there.
Yeah,
that was some effort.
Brilliant effort. Yeah.
And now 24 points to 4 with the kick to come. You'd have to say that this is Castleford's now. And Lindsay Anfield, spoke to her before the game. She talked about the expectation, the crowd, and everything like that. This will surely give Castleford some sort of reassurance that when the big games come, they will and can deliver. Obviously, the Challenge Cup final didn't go their way. When they had the chance to end the season undefeated, that didn't go their way. This was a game that they couldn't lose, really, and they haven't done. They've put in a very strong performance. As we're just going to watch this ball strip back. And it was Vanessa Temple who brought the ball away, came down this left hand side, and let's have a watch of this again. Renouf, bang, just came away with the ball. That's outstanding. That's outstanding from the back rower. That's the sort. Remember Gavin Clinch the pinch? He would have been proud of that.
Yeah, that was sensational effort there from Tamsin Renouf. We got to give her credit for that.
And the try, and the try again. Another view of that. Great finish. Wigan, I'm sure, will be disappointed. But anyway, we're back underway. Good take there from Frankie Townend. Almost up to halfway. There was a bit of a fumble there from Lacey Owen. Caught by the referee. And bit of a shame there for Castleford. They thought they were going to have a chance to venture downfield once again, but Wigan won't mind one bit. Who's caught your eye from a Wigan perspective today?
Well, as we talked about it before, I think Rebecca Greenfield's caught my eye, Vanessa Temple, Georgia Wilson, Rachel Thompson has been good as well. Vicky Molyneux, not forgetting Vicky Molyneux's contribution to this game. Obviously, it was Georgia Wilson at the try for Wigan earlier on in the game.
Megan Bragg's played well.
Yeah.
It's coming off the bench. Yeah. Wigan go down the middle with Dainty in that very recognisable scrum cap. Tries to get free and get the play of the ball away. Harrison moves the ball into Marsh. Good line there from Molyneux, who's got the ball down the right. Wilson after a second, throws it in field. This is great play from Wigan. Can they complete it with a try? Not quite. The defence eventually comes up trumps for Wigan, and then Harrison's dropped the ball. Oh, penalty, ball steal. So a full set for Wigan to try and get back on the board here.
Oh, you got to feel like this has got to go. if Wigan are to make a comeback in this game, this has got to go. They've got to get a try on the board.
I think the game, you'd say, 13 minutes to go, 22 in it. It takes some mighty fine comeback from here. Never say never in the world of rugby league. Stranger things have happened, haven't they? Bragg plays the ball into Harrison, and there again is that number 24, Eleanor Dainty, just short. Castleford defending their own line. Wigan trying to get over it as Marsh gives the ball wide. Little crash ball, it's a good one. They could be in here, Wigan, but again the scramble defence of the Tigers comes up with the answer. Surely they're going to get in here. Out wide, the try. Oh, they haven't fielded the pass, and it trickles out, and the chance goes for Wigan. It looked all but certain that they'd score there, but it just hasn't quite come off for the excellent Rachel Thompson, whose pass just wasn't quite on the mark.
What a shame for Wigan Warriors. What a shame. What an opportunity. As we said before, if this goes, you can't rule Wigan out, but unfortunately, as you say, the ball trickles out, and so does the opportunity, and Castleford will be delighted.
Here come the Tigers with just over 10 minutes of this game remaining. A professional performance, a dogged performance, and Stanley's on the run again, making her way downfield as Grace Field returns to play. Stanley's been excellent, and Gentles loves to play off the back of her, doesn't she?
She does.
She always gets the quick play of the ball away, and Gentles is more than happy to then do some damage herself. Here's Lacey Owens, brought down by Bagley. Onto her feet now. It's Rhiannon Marshall into Cudjoe to Stanley. Stanley out wide to Renouf. I'm not quite sure if Stanley knew who she was trying to pick out there. Was she going for Renouf or was she going for Lum? Either way, it didn't quite come off. It'll be a Wigan heading feed.
Still 14 points to 8. St Helens leads Rhinos at the Totally Wicked Stadium. So at the moment we are heading for a repeat of last week's game, which is St Helens Castleford.
Of course. St Helens won that game.
St Helens won that game, yeah.
Wouldn't it be a shame for the Tigers if they were to go the full season, only lose 3 games and potentially not come away with a trophy? Not one of the major trophies, of course. Obviously one of the league leaders.
That'll be hugely disappointing. Hugely disappointing. I think that the team set out to try and win it all this season. That was the goal, and if they would lose the Challenge Cup final and the Grand Final, that would be hugely disappointing for the club.
Bagley wins a penalty for the Warriors there. Hoyle had a bit of afters.
Yeah.
She was pointing to her leg. I don't know if there was just a bit of a collision there as Dainty brings it in. Hoyle tries to make amends, completes the tackle with Lumley. Here's Harrison at dummy half. 10 minutes to go then in the Women's Super League semi-final, and Castleford are on the brink of a trip to the Totally Wicked Stadium for that grand final. Another hit there from Grace Field back on the pitch, and I think Thompson felt that one, didn't she?
She's still feeling it now, isn't she?
Yeah.
I hope she's okay.
Yeah, me too. Here's Molyneux. Wide, good play. There's a chance here as they get the ball wide once again. Bring the ball back in field with Wilson. Into Bragg. Bragg steps. Brought to a halt eventually. Thompson still receiving some treatment in back play here. Harrison waits at dummy half. Ball goes in. Bragg stayed down now with a bit of a whack. Here comes Emily Bagley. Phil Thompson's back going and ready to pick up the ball. It doesn't go to her here. It's Sibbald. She juggles the ball. Thompson back into Marsh. Then the ball goes forward, I think, there. Referee adjudges, and there's another Wigan player down. So they're going down in numbers at the minute, the Wigan players, which we don't want to see.
They are. I mean, running out of physios as it looks on the pitch at the moment, but it's not good to see.
No. So Megan Bragg's going off the field.
Yeah. And as you say, she's made a bit of an impact as an interchange today.
No. Just waiting for we'll keep update, won't we, on St Helens Leeds?
Yep.
It sounds like St Helens have have extended that lead. In the 14-12. Leeds have pulled one back through Charlotte Booth with the kick to come. Time will
let's not forget 2 weeks ago finished 20 points all.
Yep,
in the Women's Super League.
Penalty for Castleford. Harrison apologises, but it's not going to stop her conceding the penalty. Holding on too long there. Townend will tap it, and here comes Field. Carries it into Harrison. Three defenders put her down. Here's Townend again. Ball moved to Roach. Now Watts. Good tackle there from Molyneux.
Watts, by the way, has her own fan club at the ground today. The Sammy Watts fan club is in the house.
Oh, really? Who's the chairman? Good job. Moves it to Hoyle. Oh, what a hit from Greenfield on Hoyle. Some vengeance for some of her teammates who felt the wrath of Shauna Hoyle there. Greenfield got in and did it for them. Renouf gets the pass out wide to Maisie Lum. Can she make it to the corner? Yes, she can. Great, powerful carry from Maisie Lum. And if there was any doubt left, it's over now. Castleford are going to the grand final.
Well, the finisher does what she's known for best. She finishes off that move with perfection. Maisie Lum's second try of the game for her now.
So most certainly this game is going the way of the Castleford Tigers. St Helens do hold a 14-12 lead because Courtney Hill, another woman in the Women of Steel shortlist, that award, the winner announced tonight, she was unable to convert from the touchline, so was ever so slightly behind us. We're into the final 7 or so minutes. They've still got around 15 minutes to play.
Yeah.
So Castleford, if they're quick, might be able to get hold of the footage and watch the closing stage of that game if they're not celebrating too hard.
Absolutely.
Anyway, conversion attempt to come. And Tara Stanley, well, she's had it tough with the conversions today, hasn't she? All from the touch lines.
She certainly has been tested, isn't she? Tara Stanley today.
Absolutely.
As Grace Field receives a round of applause from a team from the crowd.
She's been great, hasn't she? But I don't think you could pick one Castleford player in that hasn't impressed her, really.
It's been a real team effort, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Proper team effort today from the Tigresses.
Absolutely. And Stanley again. No, it was Georgia Roach this time, I apologise, who went for the conversion and just short. Not that it'll mean anything in terms of the outcome of this result. This game, you would have to say, is over now as a contest, wouldn't you? So, Wigan taking their time to get back underway. Just under 5 minutes to go. Thompson will eventually get us underway, just being precise with how she positions. I think they may be going for a short kick-off here. Let's have a look. Not quite. High kick, allowed to bounce by Townend. It might work off in the end. Oh no, Townend's just about got to it. The bounce of the ball favoured the Tigress there. Here is Kelsey Gentles. Oh, and here she goes. She's speeding down that left-hand side. Does she have the pace to go all the way for a spectacular effort? In the end, she's brought down. What a carry. What a carry.
Well, that got the crowd hyped up there.
Here come Castleford once again. Townend into Slow. They might have numbers here if Roach can get the ball wide. She just can't. She still gets an offload away to Slow. They're going to try and bring it down the middle. Bumps off one. Goes for it herself. Emma Slow. She, like many others, deserves a try this afternoon. Not on this occasion, however. Quick play of the ball. Roach wide to Cudjoe. They look like they have numbers here. It's to Renouf, who scores, and Castleford are in again. And now they're putting I couldn't get my word out. They're putting some emphasis onto this scoreline. This now is becoming comprehensive for the Castleford Tigers.
No, it certainly is, and Tamsin Renouf not wasting an opportunity there, doing the business, getting the try for the Tigeresses, and well, as you say, pretty much game over now here at the Jungle, unless something miraculous happens. Castleford will be going to the Totally Wicked Stadium away to St Helens.
Just seeing on the replay there, great ball from Kudjo into Ranulf, who did the rest. We've got a few minutes to go, and while we're waiting for this conversion, which will be taken by Georgia Roach. Who's your pick for man of the match today?
You've not made it easy for me today. The Castleford players have been awesome today. There have been a few Wigan individual performances that have also impressed. Could we perhaps put Shauna Hoyle in that position? I mean, she has provided us with some sensational bits of entertainment. I thought that Tara Stanley has been excellent today. Lacey Owen come under the radar. She's had a brilliant game today. Yeah, perhaps Sinead Peach, but Sinead Peach has also been brilliant.
You have to pick one of them.
We'll go for Shauna Hoyle for her awesome show of power today.
Shauna Hoyle, the man of the match. Georgia Roach. Well, she's had the distance on her conversions just about, hasn't she? But not quite got the angles right. Not to be. It's 34 points to 4 here now to the Tigresses. And Wigan. How would you assess this game for the Wigan Warriors? Where's it got away from them?
You know, I think they've tried their best, haven't they? And it's been a bit like the entire season in 2019. This game sort of reflects how things have gone. They started off pretty brightly, just like they did in that first game against St Helens, losing by a couple of points, but then sort of got away from them, just like throughout this season. As games have gone by, they've just not been up to scratch, and I know that after they're winning the Super League, they've lost a couple of players here and there, and it's been a tough season for them, and I think this game sort of panned out just the way that their season has.
But another semi-final. It's not been a disastrous campaign by any means, and this performance hasn't been. They've just come up against a good Castleford team, you would have to say, today. Good carry there from Hoyle has been selected as man of the match. Townend into Lumley. Now Slow. Wrestle her arm free for that offload, but they've wrapped her up on this occasion. Slow to her feet. Slow by name, slow by nature there. As Watts brings the ball forward into the closing minutes here. And the game just petering out now. Or is it? Castleford going to find one more try. Well taken there by Temple. Brings it forward. Roach leads the chase. The tackle completed into the very last moments of this game now. Castleford will be going to the grand final as Wigan try and find a consolation here.
The scene is sort of set now. The sun has come out onto the Jungle, and just moments before the game finishes.
It's Emily Bagley with the carry. Thompson, it's been good. Oh, it was the right ball, maybe just not quite executed as intended. She'd drawn in the defender. She's done a great job of that today, but pass just not quite on point.
No, not on point, and they'll be, I think, disappointed with that. I think mistakes, as you mentioned earlier, what cost Wigan this game. Perhaps these errors here and there contributing, Oliver, to missed opportunities, I'd say.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. Townend, the back into Roach. They're going for the kick and chase. Kelsey Gentles has pace. Can she get there before it goes out? The chase is on. It's going to be a tiptoe. She's got hold of the ball. Can she get to the line? No. Good defence from Wigan, who scrambled back superbly well there, but the danger's not gone. Here's Owen. She definitely deserves a try, but she's hit well down low there. And there is the full-time whistle. It's all over. Castleford Tigers are in the grand final after a 34 points to 4 victory over the Wigan Warriors. And there's the celebrations. They'll enjoy themselves tonight. There is still one more game, one more hurdle for the Tigers to jump, but after this performance they'll be very confident of making that happen. 34-4, Castleford Tigers win here.
Well, what a game. What a game here at the Mendo's Jungle for the Tigeresses. They had a point to prove. They lost last week to St. Helens. It was a poor performance. There was questions of attitude. There was questions of did they want it. They showed it today. They did want it. They're in the grand final now. They've done the business here in the semi. Can they go on and produce a similar performance in a big game? We saw in the Challenge Cup final, didn't quite turn up there, did they? Can they make sure that they turn up in a grand final? We'll see. It's still a young team. A lot of the players still under the age of 21, so maybe the fact that they don't have a lot of that big game experience contributes to them faltering at these big moments. But they've got another opportunity at the Totally Wicked Stadium on Friday night to prove why they are the best, and they'll have the opportunity there at the Totally Wicked Stadium.
Well, Sweet Caroline already on over the tannoy. Some great action has been on show here this afternoon. Some great tries as well, you'd have to say. Certainly Castleford putting on some dazzling rugby league. So the Tigers, as we can see, just shaking hands with the Wigan players, who no doubt will be disappointed, but they can be proud of their efforts today. As for Castleford, well, they will now go take the adulation of the 1,400 or so here. It's been a fantastic game and a fantastic afternoon for the Tigresses. Full time here, it's finished Castleford 34, Wigan Warriors 4.